evening to all the lovely audiences present here today. Well, today is Friday and it's time for Friday Expert Talk. And I have such a beautiful and a wonderful expert today, Miss Anisa Padaria. Good evening, Miss Anisa.
Good evening to you, Hiran. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you, and likewise. Well, to talk about Miss Anisa, she is a certified psychotherapist, a counselor, a relationship expert, public speaker, a blogger, and an author. Yeah, she wears many feathers on the cap. I'm really impressed by your bio, Miss Anisa. She's inspiring,
Thank you.
empowering, respectful, and empathetic. Her Anisa's personality has transformed many right from the school children that is at Bombay Scottish to their parents, youngsters, professionals, entrepreneurs, young and elderly couples. Anisa has been there to enrich everybody's lives. She specializes in working as a relationship coach to young adults, a soothing friend to distressed couples, and a mentor to young professionals and a beacon of hope to those in despair. Her commitment to build a happy society is the driving force for everyone at Zen Engage, where Miss Anisa is a part of. Well, Anisa, thank you so much for accepting our invite as a Friday expert speak at Parent Station, and it is lovely to see you and have you here. But you know why I have called you here? Because I had certain issues raising happy kids in digital space. It is so difficult. If we see, what I generally see is the parents, both set of parents are busy. Either they are with their obviously they are with their professional work, with their housework, and now we have something that is always there around to disturb us, and that is our gadgets, right? So the kids sometimes tend to miss out on a lot of things, and I wonder, is there anybody to hear our kids out? I remember when we were small, we would get that every little attention from our parents, and they would always be there to talk to us. But nowadays children are more to themselves. They want more connection from the Instagram pages. They want more follows and more likes, and that is what makes them happy. But isn't this, the disciplinary part is taking a back seat? Do you agree with me, Miss Anisa?
Hiran, thank you very much for having me. And it's an absolutely amazing opportunity to reach out to all parents out here who have this major concern with the digital age that we are in. And with COVID that has really taken over our lives, children have by default got into the habit of using n number of gadgets. It's not only a simple mobile phone, but it is also the fancy gadgets that they are exposed to. And what they have actually reached into is info obesity, like they say. There is so much of information out there, okay? Just like how our phones hang with so much information and data around. Similarly, children are bombarded with so much that they cannot handle. Now, parents are concerned, how do we discipline? We cannot take that gadget away because we are studying, okay?
Yeah.
This is the new normal. We are yet to reach into a regular school regime. So this session I would dedicate to parents who are concerned about how do we go ahead dealing with the situation. It's not about just taking the gadget away, but how do we go managing it well so that we discipline children at the same time they're getting the information that is required. Parental control is very important. Now, if parents are working, like you rightly said, who monitors? Okay. So it's about the discipline that we need to get into where children are taught to be disciplined in using a gadget, at the same time learning, enjoying a process which has been by default offered to them. Okay. I have a strategy which I use for parents usually if they really find themselves in a difficult zone. How do we discipline? And I would tell them just adopt the adopt method. Okay. Now, what does the adopt method stand for? We usually go ahead giving a lot of attention to our children. But what is it that they seek? Is affection, love, compassion. So the A stands for a lot of affection rather than just giving them unnecessary attention and bombarding them with gifts and, because they're trying to face their own guilt. As a parent, if you're not able to be at home with your child, then you go ahead, managing it somehow. The next is D, do it yourself activities. If they could just get along with children and play some activities, that's how they go ahead exploring a lot. It's okay to use the internet. It's okay to be on a gadget, but make a fruitful use out of it, right? Then give them a lot of opportunities. That's what O stands for. There is amazing amount of opportunities and children are ready to learn. Okay. Next is parental control. A little bit of control is important. As parents, as adults, we have this esteemed responsibility to be with our children when they are actually needing us around. If we are not able to give that time, then I think it's a very unfair thing as parents that we are doing. We're not being around. So that control you should have over your children using the gadget. If there's something that is wrong that is happening, you need to be there, sort that out. Okay. And last but not the least, the most important thing is talk. You
Yes.
need to talk to your child. You need to be very soft. You need to have instructions which are very minimalistic. Don't bombard them with a lot of information and instruction. Don't do this, do that. Don't sit on the table. Don't sit on the chair. Don't use this gadget. It's a lot of don'ts that we go surrounding a child. So a
Yes.
simple strategy, use the adopt method.
Yes, so that was wonderful. Adopt the adopt. That was a wonderful strategy that you gave to us. And the last point when you said, we always keep saying about don't. So I know a child who came and said that I think my pet name is Don't because my mom always keeps saying, don't do this, don't do that. So we are actually saying it that don't do this and they will actually go doing it thinking that don't is their pet name. Right, absolutely, I love that thing, adopt the adopt, and that's a wonderful technique that you have given us, Miss Anisa. Thank you so much for that. Wonderful. So, moving ahead, now our parents, you have given us tips as to how we can discipline a child, when it comes to help them use the right way of using the gadget and how much. But then the parents always question how much is too much. There was a time when we used to restrict them to an hour or something, and now, given the COVID, as you mentioned, the children are most of the time on that because most of their classes have shifted to online, and in between we know children are the ones who will actually get a little distracted, maybe with talking, or they come across certain websites, they're going to these YouTube channels, they're going through a lot of all these that come online. So how much is too much? Can you please let us know about?
Hiran, pre-COVID times, around 44.5 hours is what a child used to spend. This is pre-COVID. So imagine what we've actually got into now. Okay. There are amazing surveys which have been done. And as a child psychologist, as somebody who's been with children, it really concerns somebody like me because we don't really have an answer to something which has been thrown at us. All right. But like I mentioned, parental control. An adult should be around a child. There are apps which disable certain apps which are not okay for children. So we need to have that monitoring happening all the time. We need to install apps where children cannot go, YouTubing stuff or finding things on Google which are not meant for them. Okay. So this little parental control is very, very important. It's all about talking to them in a manner which they will understand. Just screaming and shouting at children and laying down, the methods that they feel are right is not being fair to a child. So we need to be very, very calm and composed. Sit with the child. You can go exploring a lot online, but the child doesn't know what. So he goes
Yeah.
exploring. He goes trying out all these sites, which are not very, very, I have a 13-year-old that I know of, and she is a pro with Instagram. And
Yes,
unfortunately, these sites are not doing any good to children because it gives them that kind of depression when they're not able to perform well. A picture
absolutely.
which they post, if it doesn't get that number of likes, imagine the reasons for getting depressed at a tender age of 13. So then it becomes our prime responsibility as adults, as parents. If a parent is not being able to, give that kind of time, at least have somebody who can be around the child or install these apps. At
Wonderful. So,
Zengage, we had this lovely. We're just forming, and we've been working on it, of course, where we have a digital distraction course. Okay,
okay,
so that
okay.
I'm sure is going to help a lot of parents and adults who are finding this as a very major concern.
Yes, yes. I think most of the parents but if you see the world has become smaller, our work is happening over a lot of apps that are coming up. We are used to, or we have become, though we call it a convenience. I don't think it is a convenience. It has become, we have become more lazy. We don't go to the bank anymore. We don't know who the bank manager is. We don't know who our relationship manager is. It's just that we are just using the app and the work is done. Of course it is getting convenient, but then we are losing out on a lot of other things as well, right? So even as adults, I think for the child to be happy, the child always imitates an adult, right? In the environment, the
Absolutely.
first environment is at home. So they always look up to their parents, and whenever a parent is under stress, most of that stress comes out somehow, maybe verbally, at home. Maybe the child is looking at all of these things. So is there a tip for the parents for them to be a happy parent, which they can pass on that happiness to their child? So Miss Anisa, can you just guide us on this?
Oh, this is a wonderful question. In fact, I would say discipline begins here. So it's you
Ab-
that needs to be following a few rules before you lay down. Okay. So it's a disciplined life that because we are role models. Okay.
yeah.
Even a small lie that a parent, goes ahead, just a normal lie, immediately a child will question the parent, saying that, you asked me not to lie, but here you go lying for silly things. All right. So that's a role model. They look up to us. We don't need to be, what we do is we give them a lot of information, but what they require is inspiration. Let's
Yes.
inspire each life. Let's inspire little lives who are waiting to explore the world. Let's be together. So it's all about a disciplined life that you start leading. If you start waking up at a regular hour every morning and do the scheduled chores, I'm sure there is a disciplined environment which a child grows in. So let's not get rules and let's not ask the child what to do and what not to do. Just be inspiring enough for them to just follow us.
Wonderful. That was absolutely, you hit the point to the T. You nailed it right. That yes, let's be inspiring so that the little ones look at us and they know. I think then they can start gauging as to what is right and what is wrong when they, when they see an adult in the environment, understanding that, or um, following a particular. Maybe they are in a situation, and how they overcome that situation is what the child is also seeing around them. Okay, so that was really really wonderful. We spoke about a lot of things as to how we can help a child, to be disciplined, what all the things that the parents can do. We know how much is too much, how we can control over the things as a parent. And instead of always laying down the rules, we can always talk to them. I think that communication gap is always there, and I think as a parent sometimes we feel we have the authority, we become authoritative, and that's when we feel that मैंने बोला है इसीलिए आपको करना ही है. That attitude comes in most of us as adults. Even in the school also, I see it as a teachers, when the child is answering something, it's like मैंने नहीं पूछा, why are you asking, right? So even if the child wants to answer, the next time the child will think that should I or should I not. So that questioning will keep coming, right? So as adults, First, let's learn to be happy, to inspire the child to be happy. So, you put across such beautiful points, Miss Anisa, today, and it was really a good learning from you and Miss Anisa. We hope, we talk more about the parenting skills in our future Friday expert speak. It was wonderful to have you. Thank you, Miss Anisa, for your precious
Thank you
time.
very, very much.
Yes, and
Thank
I
you.
want to thank
Thank you for
parents.
having me over. And I have something very important for everyone who's watching this right now. Let's be compassionate with the times
Yes,
that we are in. Let's together be compassionate enough to raise each beautiful life in this wonderful world around. Thank
yes.
you.
I think COVID has taught us a lot of things, that we need to learn to respect each other, empathize with each other, and be compassionate with each other. So that is what I feel COVID has come here to teach us all, that maybe we had forgotten that through the times that we are living in at the moment, right? So I would like to thank this platform, Parent Station and Small Wonders Bhavnagar, for having us this given this Friday as an expert talk, and we had such a beautiful conversation with Miss Anisa Padaria, who gave us wonderful tips. So keep be hooked up with our Parent Station. We have modules coming up every week, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you very much.